This is a walkthrough of Belfair State Park. I'm going to start in the center and show us all the facilities, and I'll walk through them in order. So first I'm going to turn to my left. We're here in the parking lot of the day use area. There's the day use bathrooms and showers, and they're also the bathroom and showers for the cabin. And behind them is the kitchen day use facility, which I'll show in a minute. And then we have the tidelands. So I'll go out there and we can take a closer look at the water. Then to our right, we have cabins. 1, 2, then there's 3, there's 2 more, there's 5 total cabins. So I'll show each of these in order. Here's a look at the cabins. Here's C8 in front of me, C7, C6, and you can see I think it's C5 back there. I will come back and look at each cabin in turn. The cabins are a little bit more feeling and looking like they're in the woods. They're not as exposed as the tidelands out there. This is my favorite cabin because it's got close access to a picnic shelter, another picnic table, and in the distance there, where I'm pointing is where the campsite is. But this is the cabin, so this is C8. Nice area to just hang out here in the summertime with the fire pit. Well, the last time I came out here, it was possible to look in the windows. They seem to have closed the blinds, so it's not possible to look inside the cabin just now. This is the front door of the cabin, and again, that's the kitchen, not kitchen, that's the picnic table. So that again is cabin C8, and then I've walked out here to this picnic shelter, which is adjacent. It has a brazier, and then you can see the water out there. And there's a big open space for the day use area. We'll go down there and take a look at that in a sec. So that's cabin C7. It's next to C8. This is C8. And then that is cabin C7. I'm starting to walk around cabin C7, which also has a picnic table and a fire pit. Cabin C6 next door, and C5 back there. Front porch of cabin C7, that's C8 back there. We just walked around. Now from C7 we're looking at C6, and we'll walk over there and look at it. You can also start seeing the campsite, not group camp, the campsites behind. So here's cabin C6. I'm going to turn so we can see C7 where we came from. C8's back there behind it. That's the parking lot. Cabin C6 here also has a picnic table and a fire grate. And then that's C5. We're going to go walk back there. Coming up on C5. C6 is to our left. C5 is where we're headed. So again, C5, C6, C7 back behind C6. We'll walk around C5. So here's the front porch of C5. Those are the cabins we've been looking at. Then C5 also has a picnic table and a fire grate. But there are more interesting things about C5. It starts to give you a real look at the campsites. But there's also a bridge over here that goes somewhere interesting. So there's C5. Then you have this bridge, and it goes to a building. That building is another set of bathrooms. It's the bathroom for the campsites. So you have male and female bathrooms. Also, that's the ranger office, and it's got ice available. So C5 is really close to another facility. So I just want another view from C5 to C6 and C7. And that's my blue car out there parked in front of C8. Maybe a moment to enjoy the sense of being in the woods here in the cabins as well, because we're going to go down to the water now where it opens up a lot more. There's cabin C5 where we have just been, C6, C7, C8 is back behind it, and I'm going to turn and show the bathrooms and the kitchen day use facility behind. We'll look at that next. Orienting again, those are our cabins, and there's the waterfront. In front of us are the bathrooms and the day use shelter. A quick look at the 3 bathrooms that are open during the winter. This is a park that's open all year. This is a shower. It's got a keypad, so at night it gets closed and you can open it with the keypad. One of the 2 bathrooms side by side. It's very nice. This is the other side of the bathroom facility, which is open in the summertime, and it too has 2 changing rooms or bathrooms and a shower. And then it's right next door to the day use kitchen shelter. Here's our first look at the kitchen day use area. It's got a sign where it can tell you who it's reserved for, and it's got a lot of open glass. These are the big doors which can open, and the whole thing has another view of the water. Inside the kitchen shelter, there is a sink and lots of tables. Sign that says Belfair State Park. Walking around the side, another set of doors that can open, and it gives you a sense of how open the facility is to light. And I imagine it can get warm when the sun hits the windows, and you can also open the doors and get some breeze if you need to do that. Another view of the sink, and there's another sort of prep table, I guess, there also, and then the tables and the view of the water. This is actually a good angle to show you the bathrooms, then cabin 8, 7, 6, 5. I promised a view of the water, so here it is. This is the group camp kitchen area, group picnic area. There's orange barrier to keep people from walking on grass that they're trying to reseed, but then you get a real sense of openness as you come up on the water. Now I'm closer to the water, so this is a good view of the bathroom shelter, which I just noticed has solar panels, good for them, and the kitchen shelter. And you have all the cabins. And then turning, we're closer to the waterfront. So there's your barrier. There's a stream that's running down to the water. Okay, another orientation. That's where the bathroom and kitchen shelter are. Cabins. Now I've gotten closer to the nature walks down here where you can go down to the water. You can get to the shore from here. I don't think I'm going to walk down there because I walked a lot just now, but that gives you an idea of sort of how open the site becomes as it gets close to the water. You can walk down there and go actually to the water's edge and see sand and do whatever you want to do with that water. So this is a sign telling us that we're in the Lower Hood Canal watershed. And we're looking at the Hood Canal, which is very beautiful here. And you can see that if you see a camper in the background, that's where the campsites are. And there are also a couple of picnic shelters where people can come and use for day use. And then that right there is the shelter that is adjacent to cabin 8. Cabin 8, our first cabin. There's some folk walking up the path from the beach. This tree is a tree that my peeps and I sit under in the summertime. And there's the picnic shelter, and then cabin 8. This is where we started, so I'm just gonna do another circuit to finish this up. This is cabin C8, 765 back there. And also back there, the other bathroom and the ranger office. Then we have day use parking, the bathrooms and the kitchen behind, then access to the Hood Canal and its beach. Well, there you go. That is a walkthrough of the cabins and the day use area at Belfair State Park.